Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
Greetings, viewers and subscribers. PNL Patreon family, big up on yourself. And remember, if you are not yet a member of the PNL Patreon family, instructions, just click on the link in the description below. Go over to Patreon and sign up. Over on Patreon, we post contents that we cannot post on YouTube. Also, being a part of the PNL Patreon family is your way of supporting this movement on a monthly basis. Alright? So, before I go into today's stories, look on your screen. The word for today is compassion. Here are 2 ways to practice compassion. Pay attention. 1. Speak with kindness. 2. Offer to help someone with a task. Now, when you practice compassion, you start by empathizing with a person's situation. You look at what they are going through without judgment and imagine how you might have felt in their situation. So now, right now, let me show you a little footage from yesterday's video. Watch this.
How you feel, party? So, you can't go ask? You don't go with one and not go with one. You feel up here? Yeah. Yeah, the number can we call somebody? You feel up here? Give me a number.
Listen to me now. Listen to me. Some persons were critical of that footage that I posted yesterday, based on the fact that I asked the guy if he was feeling any pain and the fact that I touched him. Of course I know he was feeling pain. Also, did you notice that I asked him for phone numbers to contact his relatives? Once again, the word for today is compassion. And by the way, you notice that sometimes I respond to some negativity by saying that a for your business. You know what that a for your business mean? You don't know? You don't? It means 3 words. I don't care. Watch this.
To all those haters, if you see someone's post and you don't like it, please, man, don't put your negativity in the post. Just scroll. They don't want to deal with your nonsense every day. You want to say, oh, I don't like your pictures. They don't care. Is that so necessary? They do not care.
You got it? Simply, just don't care. Now, in today's news, question. Did you know that in Jamaica, a teenager that is aged 14 years old can be charged criminally for having sex with a girl who is 15 years old, even if the 15-year-old girl give it to him willingly? Yes, man, he can be charged. And these are the things we need to teach our children. Now, there were 2 cases like this where 2 teenage boys, they were arrested and charged recently. In the first case, this one took place at Landilo in the parish of Westmoreland. A 16-year-old male teenager, he was arrested and charged criminally for having sexual intercourse with a girl who is 13 years old. In the next case, it took place at Little London, also in the parish of Westmoreland. A 15-year-old boy, he was charged for having sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old girl. Now, in both cases, it wasn't any hold on and take away. In both cases, it appears as if the girls consented, but guess what? The law states that once the female is under the age of 16 years old, she cannot give consent. The 2 boys, they were charged for having sexual intercourse with a girl under the age of 16 years old. Parents, guardians, uncles, aunties, cousins, these are some things that we should talk to the youngsters about. Now, these 2 boys, they'll be facing a judge shortly. Now, this next incident, very sad indeed. I carried a story on this channel on Tuesday, January 3. That youngster on your screen, his name is Jeffani Morris. Jeffani was 20 years old at the time, and he is from the Grangeville area in the parish of Westmoreland. Jeffani was a soldier in the Jamaica Defence Force. He was killed in a traffic accident that took place on Sunday, January 1, 2023, about 3:15 in the afternoon. It took place along the Story Main Road in the Betheltown Police area in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, what we are learning is that today is the day for Jeffani's funeral. As a result, a dead yard was being held for him at Grangeville last night, Wednesday, February 22. We are getting some information, and the information we are getting, it is not verified by anyone who is close to the soldier that I'm going to be talking about, but the information on the ground, and we have gotten it from more than one sources. The information is that Patrick Miller, he is 24 years old, and he was a Jamaica Defence Force soldier. He was living at Churchill in the flankers area of Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. The information is that Patrick Miller, he had planned on going to his colleague Jeffani's wake yard last night that was being held at Grangeville. Well, last night, about some minutes to 8 o'clock. It is said that Patrick, he was driving a white Toyota Corolla motor car. The information we are getting is that he was going to pick up another colleague to go to the dead yard. Patrick was driving along the Rosal Main Road in an easterly direction. An 18-year-old young man from Norwood in Montego Bay, he was driving a grey Nissan Wing Road motor car, and he was traveling in the opposite direction. On reaching right in the vicinity of the Hilton Hotel at the intersection of Rosal and Cinnamon Hill Main Roads, both vehicles collided. We are learning that the Nissan Wing Road, it burst into flames. The occupants of both vehicles, they were seriously injured and transported to the Cornwall Regional Hospital. JDF soldier Patrick Miller, he died whilst undergoing treatment. Now, I'm gathering all the details on this accident, and in a subsequent video, I will definitely be updating this story. But condolences to the family and friends of this soldier. May his soul find rest. And let's hope that the others who were in the cars and are currently in hospital, let's hope that they survive. In this next incident, it took place Monday night, February 20, 2023, about some minutes to 10 o'clock. It took place along the Namprel Road Main Road in Negril in the parish of Westmoreland. We are learning that a man, he's popularly known as Jerky. He's in his mid-50s and he's living at Namprel Road in Negril. We are learning that Jerky, he currently have a case in court where he's suing a man for over 1 million Jamaican dollars. They are to go back to court shortly, well, Monday night. Jerky, he was at a shop at Namprel Road when a motorcycle rode up and stopped. It is said that a hoodlum got off the bike and walked up to Jerky. The hoodlum, he pulled a gun and fired a barrage of gunshots at Jerky. We are told that Jerky, he ran across the road onto the Negril Estate property. The hoodlum, he then jumped back onto the waiting motorcycle and he and his crony, they made good their escape. Luckily, Jerky was not hit. The police were informed, and when they processed this crime scene, you want to know how lucky Jerky was? We are told that a total of 6 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. And talking about Jerky, you remember that story I told you about a 16-year-old youngster, popularly known as Jerky? He was shot and injured Sunday afternoon at Farm District. Well, I also told you that the guy who is suspected of shooting him, he had given himself up to the police Monday morning. Well, that youngster, he has now officially been charged by the police. His correct name is Tajhe Townsend. Tajhe is 21 years old. He has been slapped with some serious charges. 1. Wounding with intent. 2. Assault at common law. 3. Possession of a prohibited weapon. And 4. using a firearm to commit a felony. So Tajhe, he'll be going to the courts shortly. Also, you remember that yesterday I carried a story about 2 men who were shot and killed at Bottom, Granville, Tuesday afternoon. Both men who were killed, we are told that they are known hoodlums. They are aligned to a gang in Tucker. Well, last night there was more mayhem in the area. We are told that houses and cars were shut up and set on fire. Now, this situation, it is threatening to be very, very deadly if it's not brought under control in the shortest order. We are watching the situation and we'll be updating you whenever the need arises. But the mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you will be the first to be notified. In the final story for today, that lady on your screen, her name is Mrs. Paulette Baker Frame, but she's popularly known as Suzie. On February 1, earlier this month, Suzie, she celebrated her 54th birthday. Suzie and her family, they were living at Newtown at Cousins Cove in the Green Island Police area in the parish of Hanover. But she and her husband, they operated a business that built ballistas at Harton Burrows in the Lucy Police area. We are told that Suzie and a lady, they are currently involved in a court case over land. We are told that a young man, he was shot and killed about 3 years ago in the Kingsville Police area in the parish of Hanover. As a result, Suzie's mother, she gave that lady permission to live on a piece of land in the Cousins Cove area so that she could move away from Kingsville. We are told that Suzie's mom, she died subsequently, and Suzie, she decided that she wanted the lady to move off the land. The lady refused from leaving, and Suzie, she brought the lady to court. The matter is still in the Hanover Parish Court. Now, we are told that an attempt was made on Suzie's life in December, just 2 months ago. It is said that Suzie, she was at her business place one afternoon when 2 guys came there and told her that they wanted some ballistas to buy. They told Suzie the amount that they wanted, and Suzie told them how much it would cost. Well, the guys, they told Suzie that they were going to collect the money and come for the ballistas tomorrow. They also took Suzie's phone number. Well, that night, about 9 o'clock, one of the guys called Suzie and told her that their boss is leaving on an early flight the next morning, so they will have to come and pick up the ballistas as daybreak the next morning. They agreed for 6 a.m. the next day. Now, when Suzie got to the business place, the 2 guys, they were there waiting, but there was no truck to carry the ballistas. Suzie asked them for the truck, and they told her that the driver who was going to pick up the ballistas, he will soon come because he woke up late. Suzie asked them where would they be taking the ballistas to. They told her Greenland in the parish of Hanover. Now, Suzie, she bent down and started picking up the ballistas to put them to one side and check them off, when one of the hoodlums, he sprung into action. We are told that he pulled a knife and attacked Suzie from behind. He stabbed her in her back. Now, this hoodlum, he was hoping that that stab in her back would have killed Suzie, but it didn't. Suzie immediately spun around and started putting up a fight. The hoodlum, he also stabbed Suzie in her face. All this time, Suzie was screaming. The 2 hoodlums, they then ran away. Suzie, she was taken to the Noel Holmes Hospital where she was treated and eventually released. We are told that no one was held in connection with that attack. Well, last night, Ash Wednesday, February 22, 2023, Suzie, she went to church in her community. When the church service was concluded, Suzie, she was now on her way home, but at least one hoodlum was at Suzie's house, waiting on her, and his instruction was, ensure that she dead this time. One of Suzie's brother, who was also at church, he dropped off Suzie at her gate at minutes after 10 o'clock. Suzie's husband was in the house. We are told that Suzie's brother, he drove off, and as Suzie was about to go on her veranda, the hoodlum struck. Bam bam! Her brother, who just dropped her off, and other persons nearby, other relatives, they heard the explosions. When they went and made checks, there was Mrs. Paulette Baker Frame, also known as Suzie, aged 54 years old. She was at the front of her house, lying motionless on her back with blood oozing from her head. The police were called, and when they inspected Suzie, she had 2 gunshot wounds to her head. We are told that when this crime scene was processed, 2 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. 2 shots were fired, and both of them were put in Suzie's head. The hitman, who was paid to carry out this hit, he did exactly what he was told. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them knock out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane, everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when we turn. Country and town, man a pay blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them